Now this IG Farben is quite an outfit. They were given, via Hitler, from England, the Bank of England, $6 million, £6 million, which is more than $6 million, of Czechoslovakian gold reserves after Hitler had invaded Czechoslovakia. Bramley paid $386. And throughout the war, the Ford plants in Germany supported the war effort, and the German subsidiaries of General Electric and IT&T gave money to the Roman Catholic SS under Heinrich Himmler, paid $387. You know what the Nazi leaders believed, working there, the IG Farben, you know, and during the war? You know what they believed, the SS leaders? They believed, quote, are you listening? That underground aliens would return to the surface of the earth if racial purification was carried out. They believe in a hollow earth with aliens underground. Now you should guess by now the direction we're headed. But the CIA, remember the good old CIA? Roman Catholic Wild Bill Donovan under the Dulles, whose boy was a priest, who went to Catholic Canada and set it up from the OSS, the CIA, accepted Reinhard Gehlen, Gehlen, of the Nazi SS after the war was over, paid $390, and incorporated the Secret Service intelligence functions of the SS into the Central Intelligence Agency headed up by the Roman Catholic William Colby. Now how about that? The Interpol, INTERPOL, is the International United Nations sort of a drug enforcement agency. It's headed up by former Nazi SS officers. Every one of them was a Roman Catholic. And it was headed up by them until 1972. You know, in the last half of the 1970s, you know what the CIA did? It conducted germ warfare experiments on American citizens. Page 418. Bramley. A germ fog was sprayed on San Francisco by a Navy ship and reported in the Los Angeles Times September 17, 1979. 800,000 San Francisco citizens were exposed. It was an aerosol substitute of bacteria called Serratia, Serratia. Later on, it was found out to be the cause of a type of pneumonia that could be fatal. It was sprayed in the San Francisco area for 6 days by the CIA without Congress or anybody voting anything. 12 people were hospitalized and 1 died. The CIA then revealed, after the operation was over, and they never reveal anything to Congress until it's through, that tests like these have been tried out 239 times on the American people between 1949 and 1969, and 80 of the 239 times have been tried out with actual germs on Panama City, Florida, Key West, Florida, New York, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. These tests reportedly ended in 1969, whereupon AIDS or GRID showed up. Now, isn't that something? The Bilderbergers turns out to be a group of people that you can't join unless you're in the CFR. And the Bilderbergers meet at regular intervals in different places. We'll talk a little bit more later about when they meet and why they meet. But all their activities since 1960 have been connected with UFOs. We now come to the Club of Rome, established in Rome in 1968. It has 25 American CFR members. found that April of 1968 and September of 1973, it, quote, regionalized an adaptive model of the global world system. What does that mean? You set up district court judges. The United States is no longer a group of independent states. It's divided into districts, which include more than one state, which, by the way, is unconstitutional. The Constitution is at no time will the states to be gathered into a unit, so they form a unit instead of separate states. But Lincoln took care of that, as we said in our last tape. And the Club of Rome is a Roman Catholic organization which accepts Roman Catholic CFR members and has always set up a global world system with 10 districts. The police state is to be complete, and each district is to be told how many children a family can have, what their income can be, what kind of work they can do, at what age they have to die to relieve the population explosion, where they can go, and eventually they'll be implanted with ID implants so each individual can be traced on a computer. The number one area of this model is Canada and the USA. The number two area is England. The third area is Japan. The fourth area is Australia. It's all laid out. By the way, England is set out with Western Europe as a group. We have sitting in at number 5, South Africa, or rather Russia. Russia is number 5. Then we have Latin America sitting at number 6. Then we have North Africa sitting as number 7. Then we have South Africa sitting in as number 8. India and Malay as number 9. And China as number 10. This is set up for a totalitarian global world dictatorship set up at Rome. The Club of Rome, April 1968. The 10 districts set up in September of 1973. And CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, and National Public Radio never opened their mouth one cotton-picking time. Now you understand these are government agencies involved in a conspiracy. These are things like the Illuminati, founded back there at Ingolstadt, May 1st, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, the Roman Catholic. This isn't talking about Freemasonry behind the French and American Revolution. This is not talking about Satanism. We're talking here about government political agency that is supported by tax money, designed to enslave the entire world through computers and electronic devices. And the agencies involved so far are the Federal Reserve Bank, the Central Intelligence Agency, and the Council of Foreign Relations. Later we'll get into the Environmental Protection Agency, the National Security Agency, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and the Drug Enforcement Agency, the ACLU, and the Internal Revenue Service. But right now we're dealing with the UN, the Club of Rome, the Bilderbergers, the Council of Foreign Relations, the League of Nations, the CIA, and the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission, as the Council for Foreign Relations, was set up in New York in 1973. It was set up to make the USA dependent on other economies, headed up by David Rockefeller. The first director and drafter of the charter was Brzezinski, Brzezinski, a devotee of the French Jesuit priest Teilhard de Chardin, Chardin, who taught Marxism. It has 325 members. To expose this, a congressman named Larry McDonald and a congressman named